Make Me Laugh Media presents Comedy Insights. We give you the scoop on all things comedy, such as
my first time I ever bumped,
my favorite comedy special.
What's it like to be a woman in comedy?
Is there a comedian that I grew up watching and I met him, I didn't like him?
I don't give a fuck. Them niggas know who they is. I got on their ass about that too.
Do I have any comedy groupie stories?
Bro, what was that question again?
You are watching Comedy Insights.
What's up? It's your boy Brad Sativa, and this is Comedy Insights. Who was the first person to take me on the road? It was my homeboy Funny Man from Birmingham, Alabama. I opened up for him at Zany's, and so I knew him from the Kevin Hart. He did the Kevin Hart show on Comedy Central, so I knew him from that. And but I knew him already, but I knew that I seen he had a date, and so that's what I was expecting. That's what his date on the calendar was for. I didn't know that he was actually had a viral videos that went about Alabama football. So it was all these white people that were Alabama football fans, and it looked like a pep rally. And so they was like, no, you got to do clean, blah, blah. And so I'm thinking, so I had to switch up everything, but I did totally clean, and I had a good set. And then he was like, hey, I got some dates you want to jump on, and I got this theater out in Alabama, you want to do it? And yeah, that's the first person that paid me, put me up. Yeah, so for sure. Where's my favorite place to perform? Venue-wise, I'm gonna say I have to pick my home club, Zany's in Nashville. That's where that's why I got like club experience. That's what made me the most professional kind of how to dictate different crowds, because they got a different type of headliners come through all the time. But also though, my other favorite place, I love Comedy Works in Denver. It's like one of the best clubs. It's just the fire. You get it's magnetic there. First place I did stand up, it's at this little bitty bar. At that time, it's called the East Room in Nashville, Tennessee. They only had beer there at that time. Now they got liquor and everything. But this first place I went just to kind of check it out at first, because I was thinking about doing comedy, but I ended up knowing one of the guys from, I used to be a bartender, so I knew one of the guys from bartending, and he knew the host, and he was like, no, this is your first time, you got to go up tonight. And so, I went up, I signed up 7th, and I wasn't the worst one of the night, so I took that as a win, so I came back. All right. What is my favorite city to perform in? That's actually, it's 3 answers, and I can't break it because it's not done yet, so I can't, but it's between Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I get like, people show me love here, and it's like the smartest city in the South. So it's like, it is like the most hip city, like on culture and like language, and yeah. So Atlanta, it's South, but it's like the smartest city. So you get to do your best material and your dumbest material here. It's like, so I love Atlanta for that. Chicago just because that is one of them holy grail cities with a lot of rich history. And I love it. It's like when you do crowds there, you know some of the most famous people of all time that have been in there. And just the vibe of the city, the pride of the city that they have in their comedy too. And then lastly would be Denver. Denver, I'm a smoker. My name Brad Sativa. I love to smoke. You go out there, you smoke good, but they pay. They pay well out there in Denver. They take care of you. They put you up. So them my 3 cities for like 3 different reasons. Who was the first comedian that I saw live? It was Bruce. It was my first weekend. It was my first week in college. I went to MTSU. Phi Beta Sigma, give it up to my fraternity. Iota Mu chapter, you know what I'm saying? One of my frat brothers, he lived here at JON from 85 South. So so we pledged there. We kind of got set up. But it was Bruce. He did the show, but then he was like, "Hey, where the frats at?" And so he called all the frats down there to do the little chants, to kind of get the crowd live. But his son's a Q, so he had a whole little thing. But yeah, Bruce was the first comic I seen like live. what is my favorite comedy special? Oh, I ain't gonna lie, man. I can't now. I really I'm gonna mess it up, but it was Jamie Foxx, and he was in like Oakland, I want to say. Yeah, and then Jamie Foxx, he murdered that motherfucker. Then at the end, he sang songs and made it funny. Yeah, Jamie Foxx. That was just for like I'm an outside the box Virgo. Like I think my mind go everywhere. So the artistic of how different ways he entertained is probably my favorite special. Peer pressure. It was no. Like I don't know. I always thought it was like funny. Everybody told me that. I learned early. Like, I was raised by women, so you make all my women in my family laugh. I got away with murder pretty much, and so I was always been funny. I was fat in the '90s. I always say that. Like I grew up in the '90s fat, so you had to. Like back then, you either have to survive, you have to swim, or got to get eat up. So we was roasting and all that. I always been roasting. I always roast people. That's what we did. And but I was working in restaurants, and I was in music. I was writing songwriter, and people kept on tipping me like a lot of money because they said I was funny. They enjoyed their time, and then the people I worked with were telling me how funny it was, and then ended up getting into it because I kept hearing about it. Like, man, you should try. So I'm like, well, hell, I'm about 31. Like, why not? And then I did it. So, and then we're here now. So, what is my comedy style? My comedy style is all over the place. It's always growing. But observational is probably my bread and butter. That's like the stupid shit that goes on in the world. I don't necessarily talk about politics, but I talk about politics adjacent. I'll talk about social issues. I'm pretty straight. So observational is my bread and butter. But now, as I'm getting older, I'm talking more about my life, my family, and so it's kind of growing more to upbringing and things like that. What's my pre-show ritual? Man, my pre-show ritual, I have to see, like I'm a visual person, so I'll write down at least 75% of the jokes that I know I want to do. And you know what I'm saying, and kind of the order, because I like to order my shit. I don't like to just throw random jokes. But I'll look at 75% of it. After I get that list, I roll up, I burn me one, I put some headphones on, I listen to whatever kind of music that I got like I got a playlist for shows. It's songs, I'll listen to 45 seconds, a minute of each song, and I just keep skipping. I don't know. And then it just kind of give me live. The first time I bombed, I actually talked about this earlier. It was at a lounge in Nashville. It's a lounge that flipped 4 times. And my homeboy was like, hey, yeah, break it up, man. Guest spot. Go up. I'm like, all right, I'll go up. Fuck it, why not? It's just 20 people in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? And like, young comic can be like, yeah, why not? Let's go and get them. Like, everybody else just had an all right set, so let me try to get these motherfuckers. And man, when I ate one, man, for the 8-9 minutes, just sat there and just ate one and stood on it. But I always tell people, man, if I bomb, I don't run. You know what I'm saying? Because my personality, I got a big personality, and so I stand on a lot of shit I say. So if I bomb, I'm staying on that bomb too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna run. Like, so yeah. Yeah, man, it's wild. It's wild sometimes. It's not, and I'll say it's not. It's the people who recognize me is wild. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and so I'll do stuff about Nashville all the time. You know what I'm saying? But you'll bump into people that'll catch it, and people that refer you, and people that you like. Theo Vaughn referred me for a job, and I know him, but him referred me for a job just because I don't know, this dude really funny. I didn't know dude thought about me like that. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And this is something recently, but they're like, well, you like, oh damn, you think I'm really funny? I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Man, yeah, for sure. Um, it's a few of them. DC Curry. I met him. It was at a festival about 3 years ago. Uh, we was out there, and so I stayed. DC Curry here. I want to come and catch a show, so I came. I caught his show, but then after everybody was hanging in the green room, and then so we was talking about it, and then like the manager, the owner of the venue was like, "Hey, this dude got a show tomorrow. Y'all to come up. Y'all to pull up. We all gonna be here." And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna pull up." You know what I'm saying? So I do a 2 o'clock brunch show, and so I did the brunch show, and then he came, and I didn't like he snuck in. I didn't know. I was like, "Damn," he said he was gonna come. Everybody like, "Oh, DC Curry here." I'm like, "Oh, damn, he did. He here." And he pulled up on me, man. And then we had a real good show, and he was like, "Man, nephew, you funny as hell." But then after that, they did their show. Then later on that weekend, later on that next day, he was like, "Oh, come here, bro. Let's hang out." We hanging out, chilled. He was just over the top, like real genuine dude. And like I said, you grew up seeing him on a lot of stuff. You're like, "Oh, that dude, just like you know what I'm saying." I'm glad it went like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't break the image I had. I ain't gonna say I don't like him as much, but yeah, that definitely happened to me.
Whoever you say.
Okay, yeah, okay. It was earthquake. Man, and so but being a grown man, a grown ass man and being a comic, I know people be in their moods, and he could have just been moody that day and but he's like, "Oh, earthquake," he's like, "Earthquake in this bitch," you know what I'm saying? It was like say it was all at a comics party, you know what I'm saying? So it was a festival party. And so I'm like, "Hey, yeah, what's up, my girl? How you doing?" And he just like, "Oh yeah," it was just like he was just in a mood, in a funk. He wasn't fucking with nobody. I like, damn. But like, yeah, it's just like I wish he was cooler, cause you know what I'm saying. That's like somebody I think is fucking funny as fuck. So nah, never. I definitely done a joke that it was similar to somebody else. As soon as somebody else told me it was similar, take it out, cause I'm a creative. You know what I'm saying. I pride myself on my material kind of thing. So it's like, and I build my material to end up being set. So it all ends up at the day. So if I do an hour, my hour is gonna be together. It's gonna be all kind of working in part. I give you an idea. My first album, I did my first album in 2018. When I did my album, I went through all the material. It all went together. But at the end, like it goes with my album, but I wrote a poem to summarize my album. You know what I'm saying? I do some weird that was the first time I ever did that joke too. And that was the whole thing of the poem is that I've never ever done it ever. And then so I'm like, I'm gonna close on something I never even done before. And it worked, but it's like, I don't know, I pride myself on the creativity of it. So if something too similar or too like that, I'm getting rid of it immediately. But I will say though, I know he did not take my joke, but I did the joke. What was the Caitlyn Jenner joke that Dave Chappelle did on his last special? I was doing that joke in like 2016, 15, 16, and theoretically my joke was better, and it is better. So. Man, I it's a comic. I do a joke about Campbell's soup and it's about soup being gay, and it's like one of my I guess best jokes over the years. And but it's a gay comic that didn't tell the soup joke, but he structured the whole joke the same way I structured the gay soup joke, but about being but straight men and comparing it to straight men. And so that was like, he like, damn, you. I know he liked the joke too because he told me like he liked the joke, but he literally like use my template of how I wrote my joke and wrote a straight version about another issue about another thing. That was like, and he was on the road with like a huge comic like that was sell out like theaters. And you're like, damn, bro, you just, like come up on your own shit. And then, but yeah, you see other people like if I see them like younger comic, like, hey, bro, come on, now. You know better than that. You know what I'm saying? I'll let them know just because I won't let it be a thing. You know what I'm saying? So. The biggest comedy misconception is that the glamorous life is like it's a certain top maybe 10% of comics that actually do comedy that's on that glamorous level. But there's a lot of sleeping on homeboys' couches. There's a lot of sleeping in trash hotels. A lot of driving. It's a lot of a lot of networking. Like during the pandemic, bro, it was like the whole thing. You weren't supposed to be close to touch people, but after that, I had to sell merch. So I'm out there in people's faces. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. He's like, say, you got to make the money. So it's like, so you do a lot of stuff that I never would have thought that I would have to theoretically risk my well-being, because I was out doing that shit before it was a vaccine. But selling merch and doing shit, taking pictures with people, because it was what it was. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I was a risk taker. I've been a risk taker. So, but yeah, it's the glam is not glamorous. Sometimes you got, like, I'm a blue collar, get my hand dirty type, and I'm a hands on. So yeah, it's only so if people see me next couple years, 5 years, and I'm looking like I'm enjoying that shit, is because I put in goddamn work for 8 of them hoes. So. What do I do when I get heckled? I address that motherfucker immediately. I like to, when I get heckled, man, we finna see about something. I'm finna talk some shit. So I grew up, like I grew up in the 90s roasting. I'm roasting. So like, yeah, we going at it. Man, I'm fortunate. I ain't had nobody really go too deep into where I had to, but the worst one I had, it was Valentine's Day. It was during the pandemic. They told me, guarantee me the money. I had to, you know what I'm saying, I picked up a lineup, whatever. So I picked the lineup, I went ahead and I paid everybody. And so up front for the comedy, because I wasn't gonna hold out. Cause like I'm almost was a middleman, and almost made me like a promoter. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and pay these people. I had the money, so I paid them people. But it took me 4 months to get my money out of hassling these people, calling check money on their way, and they acted like I was disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were lucky that they had women leading the way. You know what I'm saying? So I went. It's only, you know, when it's black women, I ain't trying to call them no bitches and hoes. Older black women and shit too. So it's only, you know, you try to get aggressive, but you don't try to be disrespectful, because they like black women in their 60s, and you like, man, I can't cuss them like I want to cuss them out. You know what I'm saying? But also you playing with my money, because like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, but it took me like 4 months. What is my most embarrassing moment as a comedian? It was a comedy festival like 3 years ago. I do a brunch show. This one's for a festival, so it was at 1:00. So we drink. We were like, we drink. That's the whole thing about the show. You make like everybody, you push drinking, and we having fun. So I started drinking at like noon. And the festival, the last show was like at 10:30, 11 o'clock, something like that. It was a wild show, it was real late. But I was so drunk by the end of that night. Man, I went to the bathroom, got so drunk, I fell asleep in there and locked myself in there. And my girlfriend knocking on the door, man, what's up? She was so bad. She was so fucking mad at me. And I'm talking shit. I'm trying to be like smooth and like I'm like, yeah, baby, yeah, let's go home. Yeah, let's fuck her out of this. She was like, motherfucker, you ain't getting no pussy tonight. But it was just fun, like in front of like, yeah, comics and everything. Yeah, she was crazy. Man, what is my comedy groupie stories? Man, I'm fortunate. Yeah, a few. Yeah, man, I don't know, man. Like, I think it's funny sometimes. Like, especially if like a super hot woman is like interested in me, like just off a rip, off of just a comedy, whatever it is. If we fuck, I'm laughing. It's like in my head the whole time. I'm like, girl, you crazy. Like, man, you crazy as hell. But yeah, man, I don't know. That's like, yeah, I get some crazy groupie stories. Women, the crazy thing I had, I was in LA. It was I was out there, man, and I did the show, and it was in Venice Beach. It was like so super progressive white people, man. And so I go up there to the show, and like so the girl, like the other comics kind of doing all right, but the girl I'm sitting in the back, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get ready to go home, so don't leave. You know what I'm saying? Just being slick. They're like, she's like, I am staying, blah blah blah. And so I go up, I do my jokes, I'm having a pretty good set, but then I said I do a joke with nigga in it, and then like it make these white people feel weird as hell because they some like LA white people. So I started like going in. So I start going in, I say niggas so much after that. And I'm telling them, if you see a flyer with my name on it, nigga gonna be said. And I just like went in, but then I like ended with a pretty decent joke. And then when I left, so when I leave the stage, and that girl was like, she was in her 30s. So you know, I'm almost 40. So she walked up, she's like, oh, that crowd didn't understand shit, blah, blah, blah. She started talking, she's like, well, what you doing now? Can I buy you a drink? I'm like, hell yeah, you can buy me a drink. Shit, we having a drink together. Then she was like, so what's your plans for the night? What are you thinking? I'm like, this is my first time in LA. I had no plans. So she's like, yeah, we got to go to the beach. I was like, so let's get another drink and then let's go to the beach. So we go to the beach. I'm on the beach, man. This beach is longer than a motherfucker. You got to walk all. They're like, God damn, you drunk? I'm drunk in the motherfuckers. It's hot in the motherfuckers in the summer. I'm getting all this, walking through this motherfucker sand. But then I end up, man, smashing on the Baywatch Tower, man. And man, I'm in that motherfucker. Like the whole thing, man, I'm tucking my stomach in like I was like David Hasselhoff while I was in that thing. But yeah, sex on the beach in LA. That's probably the craziest groupie because that happened that night. What is my first fan moment? So the one I used to get the most, I still like back in the day I used to get. So I can't remember the first one, but this is what I remember what the one I used to get it the most before like I quit doing all that. But I used to serve tables. So I'm serving tables. I served tables for 10 years even before comedy. And I quit in 2020. But when I was serving tables, I'll be serving tables and somebody be like, hey, ain't you a comedian? He'd be like, yeah, I'm here to take your order. You a comedian, right? Yeah. What's your order now, motherfucker? It's like, but yeah, when I was at work, like serving tables or bartending, and people recognize me, that would be the craziest thing to me because like I had to take the orders and shit after that. What is my comedy life? It took me a long way to get here. I always tell everybody I'm a dog with 9 lives. You know what I'm saying? So I've done everything. I have a college degree in marketing. I've worked with Fortune 500 companies. I sold weed and shit. I've done everything. Wrote music, bartended in my life. All the point of just being a creative and try to get to that space. And finally, comedy kind of gave me that outlet, and comedy gave me that opportunity to take it to that level to where I can create different things. I can create in different ways, and it kind of gave me that avenue. And I'm only a comic now, so I don't have a job other than comedy. And so that's the biggest thing. Yeah, I don't know. To be just a comedian and just like, is fucking, I don't know, it feels, it's a badge of honor now, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, so what else you do? Now I do this. Like, next question, so. What is my advice to young comedians? I would say, care about your material. Care about it. Like, think about what you really want to say. Think about what you really want to do. And do it in your way and your essence, because the internet make it so random now. You can tell a young comic, hey man, you doing this wrong. These niggas, that nigga get a viral video and then you like, can't tell them nigga shit. So that's why I say, like, you really can't give them only real young comedians that really want this information. Work on your jokes, work hard. Don't worry about flexing or being the flyest nigga on stage, the best dress. Are they gonna remember them jokes? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, man. Write them jokes. Fuck everything else. 5 underrated comedians that I think people should know. First one, my homie B-Tuck, Brian Tucker, he really made me laugh. And you know what I'm saying? That's my homie. Like, he really made me laugh. So he's one of them. I would say my homeboy Josh Black, Nashville, Tennessee. B Cove from Nashville, Tennessee, one of my favorite. I'm gonna give all love to most of the local people. So from Nashville, because I think everybody should know our dudes. So Brian Covington from Nashville, Tennessee. Renard Hirsch from Nashville, Tennessee. Also, we got a young dude coming up named Jimmy. Definitely look out for him. Very funny dude, and got a different perspective and a different. And that's one thing I like now about like black comedy in general now, is that everybody get to be different personalities now. It's not just one type of black comedy. So. Where do I see myself 5 years from now? I see success at the end of the road for sure. I'm not like I got different things kind of planned and strategize to kind of build that. But I see my merch brand being a street brand, being very successful. I see me having at least 2 comedy albums and probably one of them be a special by then. I see myself bringing my friends along with me, you know what I'm saying, so we can fucking cut up and have fun and live this shit like we're supposed to, you know what I'm saying. I see definitely success. I just see myself with opportunities I'm getting now just without management and without agents. I'm getting now when I really get agents and management for comedy, taking it to the next level and acting more too. So. What is my proudest moment in comedy? I don't know, man. The night my mom came to a show, and the show was sold out. It was crazy, and so before then, I always was conscientious that my mama was in the audience and kind of like toned it up. But that night, it was sold out. The energy was right, and I did one of my dirtiest sets in front of my mom in the front row. And at the end, she was proud of me. So I'm like, fuck yeah, this is my mama, damn it. Hell yeah. Who gave me my first comedy dollar? It's my homeboy, Joe Kelly. He booked me for my first show of 4 months in. It was $50. It was at a deli shop, and it was 12 minutes. So that was my first comedy dollar. What's a song by a woman I like to sing when I'm alone? I always say my woman doppelganger voice is T-Boz. So I can sing T-Boz. Anything that T-Boz is on, I can sing in key with T-Boz. So I say, yeah, I definitely, Red Light Special is my go-to karaoke song. So I would say, yeah, T-Boz, particularly though, because especially she lead a lot in that song. And so I can do that song mostly. And then when Chili come in doing all that extra shit, I can't do all that. But T-Boz, I can hold T-Boz notes. So the Red Light Special is probably my favorite.
I knew y'all was special, man. You did what I'm saying? Y'all make me laugh for life. Hello.
That shit true though, T-Boz. That's the only moment I can sing and key with, bro. I'm just chilling with my homies. Gotta get it on you. baby. Like that. Oh, man. Man, hell yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man.